Good evening and salutations, my GGs. I will give this scene of Emma and Anna a certain level of points. Because it did not go the way I expected it to. If you watch my Friday's review, and I'm pretty sure I might have talked about it in the live stream, is that I thought that Emma was going to go off on Anna. And she didn't. You know, did a video not that long ago talking about protesting goes wrong. And in some ways, if you watch my video and you see the people in it, you can see Emma being one of those people. Ultimately, what it comes down to is that her heart was in the right place. Her heart was in the right place. In this situation, she was morally right. Morally right does not always translate to legally right, right? She gives this justification that sometimes to do the right things, you have to push the legal bounds or something like that. And I'm like, this is where I start to disagree because this isn't the Wild West, right? And I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of a tricky line because I can't necessarily say that she was wrong for obvious reasons. I mean, the people that came before me, they didn't march, even though it was probably illegal for them to do that. I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now, right? So I'm not gonna fully go ham on her in that situation. There's been times where I've seen people go way over the line. Even things like PETA, the whole models and the those coats and stuff like that, the fur coats, and then people coming in and throwing blood and tomatoes and stuff like that. I feel like that just tends to go too far. So it's kind of a mixed bag, right? But she tells the reason why that she was protesting and everything like that. Well, standing up for the coordinates. And so, in the beginning, Anna was meant to give her a lecture. Then she kind of backtracked and apologized. I didn't think the apology was necessary because, again, you might have been morally right, but it was her job to sit there and arrest you because you were legally wrong. You got Tracy. At one point, when she was sitting down, you had the two cops come in and pick her up while she's, like in the whole Indian style thing or whatever. And so it's just like she's being carried for a little bit. And ultimately, Diane comes in and gets a cease and desist. Monica. This whole thing ultimately comes down to Emma's original plan. Emma and Gio's original plan. Give up a little bit of land, you get to keep the resting place where it's at, and Drew does not get the name coordinate. Which I'm gonna be honest, I feel like at this point, him fighting for this name is just so acidine. It's like, what is even the point? You doing all this just to get one up, you know? And it's just pointless. It's like, what? They want to keep the name. I'm gonna keep the goddamn name. Y'all sullied that name enough. Y'all don't need him to sit there and do anything more to it. Besides, it's not like the name was really that great before he got to town, but whatever. Ultimately, Monica came, saved the day, and Diane was there to sit there and make Oil look like an ass. So we all had a good laugh, and then when Tracy came down there to try to free Emma, and Mac was there, Tracy was like, I'm going to pay your legal fees, we'll go out to dinner, we'll celebrate, have a good time. And I was like, yeah, we can't do that because, see, Emma has priors. See, I'm pretty sure this is not the first time that she's done this whole right cause, heart in the right place, but legally she's in the wrong. So she gonna have to spend the night in jail. I don't think it's gonna be like she gonna be like in jail forever, but Trina and Kai meet up. I don't really see the point of even mentioning that, but I didn't want to sit there and not mention it and somebody sit there and say, yeah, talk about that part. Even though there's really nothing to talk about. Christina, I don't understand. You know, okay, there's a couple issues I have with this whole thing, right? So she gets to the crash site, and eventually Lucky is there too, and she's all just saying it wasn't supposed to be Ava. It was supposed. I mean, it wasn't supposed to be Rick. It was supposed to be Ava. Ava was supposed to be in the car when I cut the brakes. I'm like, did you just sit there and confess? Did you just confess to Lucky that you cut the brakes and somebody, either Rick or whoever else is in that car, could be killed? Did you really just do that? See, my issue is that she was like, it was a mistake. You know, she tried to cover it up and try to go back and correct it. See, I miss the days where villains and vixens and things of that nature would just do it and just not care. You know? Like, it would have been much more satisfying. She would have been like, yeah, I did it. I mean, yeah, she could have been fat. She could have felt bad for Liz, but yeah, I did it. Oh, yeah, Rick, collateral damage. I mean, I was going to get him sooner or later, or something like that. But instead, she's all freaking out. She feels kind of guilty. She is hanging out with Molly. Molly's hanging out with Cody, and they having like a good talk and everything like that. And Molly's thanking Cody for, getting some peace and some normalcy between, her parents for a little bit. Of course, that was very short lived when she got the call to go to the hospital where Isaiah was there and Lucky was there. And long story short, Liz is going to have a broken leg, but she's eventually going to be fine. Rick, on the other hand, that man got a battle. They say he had massive head trauma and internal bleeding, which is never good. Um, I'm just going to sit there and say right now, they ain't going to care what go on. See, these folks today have this very, oh my god, we can't sit there and kill people off. Like, back in the day, heard some of the British and the foreign soaps or whatever would just kill people off and just Hollyoaks, you just never know. We knew that Carly was not going to get killed off. They did not just bring Rick back. I mean, it would have been interesting if they would have killed him off, but we know they're not going to do that. So all of this, and then of course, Ava got there, and Alexa's like, you don't need to be here right now. My girls, every time they see you, is pain and trauma. And although Ava's like, well, I care about him and stuff like that, care about him somewhere else. This is not the time and the place for that. I don't care if you're going to chapel, go wherever, you don't need to be here. It's only a matter of time before Christina's discovered. Now, speaking of, well, Rentos or whatever, Jason and Sonny got this guy cornered. Stalinsky, I think his name is. And when Sonny goes to go get like a book or to go get something, go get some information, because once Zelensky heard that click from Jason's gun, he was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, I can. The information's in the drawer somewhere." Jason slipped on. Zelensky surprised him. Jason whooped his ass, but that fall, done, donezo. He was dead. And then Sonny sat there towards the plane ride. He was like, "Well, we're just gonna sit there and get him sooner or later, whether he was dead now or dead later on." You know, I don't know if he sat there and said that to try to make Jason feel better, but I'm like, it's nice. You're trying to do a little pep talk, to be like, well, we were gonna sit there and kill him before. It was like, bro, bottom line is Jason kind of screwed up. Like, and don't get me wrong, listen, it happens to the best of us, but it still did happen. Now at that point, Jason's like, you need to get the surgery done Sonny's like, well, let's just sit there and find some names, and then I could sit there and like, you keep delaying this shit. See, my whole thing is the whole time I'm sitting there watching this whole standoff, I'm like, your heart could just go out just like that. And then you really would have had a problem. Then that guy could have got away. And then what? So, you know, he just keeps delaying it. Keeps on delaying it. Um, damn. Oh, Drew. Well, Drew was angry towards the end because he didn't get what he wanted. He didn't get the crypt knocked down and everything. And also, he was talking to Kai for a little bit. Kai was talking to Alexis. Kai leaves. Drew, okay, I want you to understand. Drew called Alexis down to sit there and give her some good news. The good news is that Wiley, Amelia, and Willow, Wiley, Amelia, yeah, Amelia and Willow moving in. So, Scout could sit there and have some much happy faces and laughter and just, family and everything. And Alexa's like, yeah, see, that's not a good idea because you can't change one family for the other. You know, she's going, she misses her brothers and everything like that. And, Drew's like, well, I try to make it work, but, they just were being unreasonable. I'm like, that's not entirely true. I mean, that's not entirely true. Listen, I'm going to sit there and stand on 10 toes down that I don't think that Jason should have been kicked, that Drew shouldn't have been kicked out. Hell, AJ screwed up like there was no tomorrow. That dude didn't get kicked out. But I do feel that Drew should have let Scout stay there. Visit every now and then, do the back and forth thing, let her stay with her brothers or whatever, the family house and everything like that. Do that. You want to sit there and be a good dad. You made that more about yourself by, moving her away from the quartermates because she ain't get kicked out. You took her out of that place. It's not like you couldn't sit there and see her. Even if you didn't see her on the grounds, you still could have saw her, but you made it about yourself in a sense. Um, so Alexa's like, this is not a good idea, and I don't like it. And Drew's like, well, I didn't, I didn't call you over here to sit there and get permission. I'm doing it either way. I'm kind of just like, well, if that's the case, then what'd you call her for? Like seriously, you could have texted her, you could have called her instead of having to drive all the way down there just to sit there and try to make it seem like she's going to get some sort of input to be like, nope, I'm doing it anyway. You're gonna reimburse her for that gas money that she took to get all the way down there? No? What are we doing? Um, and like I said, the scenes with Cody and Molly was, they were nice and everything like that. You can tell that they're gonna go somewhere with that. I guess TJ's name is just like a distant memory, like RJ is on Bone and Beautiful, because they don't even talk about him. Curse don't talk about him. Stella don't talk about him. Jordan don't talk about him. Mom Dukes don't talk about her own damn son. What the hell is going on? Just saying. Yeah. I feel like that's about it. I can't honestly say to you if I can't think of anything else. Now, I might have missed some stuff here or there, but I will be sitting there talking about it, as well as Beyond the Gates, Bold and Beautiful, Young and the Restless, Days of Our Lives, and obviously General Hospital. With that being said, I'm going to go. I don't want to leave it on 13. Yes, I'm that person. Yep, I'm that person. I'm not leaving it on 13. Not doing it. Alright, I'll see you on the next stream, and which is tonight.